You're listening to Voiceover. How did you do it? At voiceoverpodcast.com. Hello, Carin. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing
Happy to
well,
be here.
thank you. Huh?
Good. I said I'm happy to be here. Thanks for
Oh,
having
I thought you said happy bear.
me.
Happy bear. I'm
No,
like, yeah.
yes. Happy
Grr.
bear.
Happy bear to you too. So thanks for coming on the show. We do this, how did you do it, to help, new voice actors just figure out how to do it, as the title says.
Great. I
So
love it. I'm
yeah,
happy
so
to tell you about how I did it and hopefully help other people figure it out too.
thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks. So we'll start with, what's your website, your business name, etc., and what are you doing now?
So my website is caringilfry.com. My business, actually, all of my voiceover work goes through my corporation, which is actually Gilfry Studios Incorporated.
Oh,
But
nice.
it's really just, a name to use besides Carin Gilfry. My corporation doesn't do anything except just filter through my own voiceover work. Yeah,
Incorporates.
it incorporates. Yeah, it's there for tax reasons and because it's better to have a small business and pay myself a salary than to just get all my income as a, individual.
Oh, okay.
So it works out. Yeah.
And
And
what
what am
sort
I
of,
doing now?
yeah,
I'm a voice actor, obviously,
yes,
but that's what we're talking about.
yes.
Um, I do mostly commercials, but also lots of non-broadcast genres of voiceover. So, explainers, e-learning, on hold message systems, company anthem videos, anything that's not kind of broadcast on TV and on the radio is considered a non-broadcast genre and on the internet. Not broadcast like on a streaming
Mhm.
service like Hulu or Netflix or a place like that. So I do a lot of that. My commercial work makes up like probably about 60 or 70% of my income.
Mhm.
But commercial work it's not as consistent as some of the other kinds of work.
Mhm.
Commercial work is like I'm always happy to have it and I want to keep my commercial clients for as long as I possibly can because I love them. I love doing commercials. But it's one of those things where, if my voice went out of style or something like that, the commercial work might not be there anymore. So for me, I always want to make sure that I have a base income of repeat clients, and most of those clients are in non-broadcast genres. I've done some video games, I've done some animation, I do audiobooks occasionally, but it's mostly commercials and non-broadcast corporate stuff.
What is a corporate anthem video?
So an anthem video is like it's usually a 1 to 2 minute video that's like this is our company.
Okay.
We
Yes.
sprang up from nothing. And every day we make the world a better place, right? It's like just a video that lives on their website. It's like a long form commercial about who we are. This is our motto. This is our mission.
And is that how you voice it usually?
I mean, depends on the video, but usually it's shots of people working in the factory and it's shots of people coming into work and smiling at each other and shaking hands and hugging, right? It's
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So usually that's the kind of voice that they want.
So a lot of
Something inspiring and
pauses
warm. Yeah,
in between,
exactly. Pauses
inspiring.
for the drone shots of the office, right?
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. Yeah,
Oh my God.
that's an anthem video.
You know who was cracking me up earlier today? I was talking to is Deborah Sperling.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she was killing me.
Oh,
She was reading the script that we have that I'll have you
yeah.
read later. And she was doing it so many different reads. And it was just, I was dying. I don't think I've laughed that hard in a couple of weeks.
Oh,
Oh
that's
my
great.
God.
That's great.
So now I know the answer to this, but our listeners don't. So what were you doing before VO?
So I started as an opera singer. I always from the time I was a kid, I always wanted to be some kind of performer.
Hmm.
I thought I wanted to be a whale trainer.
Oh, wow.
I was really obsessed with Free Willy as a child.
Uh-huh.
And I really wanted to work at SeaWorld as a whale trainer.
Uh-huh.
Well, I've since seen the Blackfish documentary,
Oh
and
my
I'm glad
God.
that I did not become a whale
Who can
trainer.
ever go to SeaWorld again after that, you know?
I know, oh my god. But it seemed like such a cool job
Yeah.
to be connected to animals like a Disney
Yeah,
princess, right? You could,
absolutely.
like, call upon your whale, and your whale would come and jump, and you could ride on it, right?
Yes,
So cool.
yes.
So anyway, I knew I wanted to be some kind of performer, and my dad is an opera singer,
Uh-huh.
and I always thought opera was so boring and dumb, and I didn't wanna be in it, and then in high school, there was a singing competition, and no one had signed up for the classical music category, and the
Really?
prize money was $100,
Where
which at
was
the
this?
time
That
in
people are such,
Southern California,
what's the word I'm looking for? Barbarians, I guess. I don't
such
know.
barbarians.
Yes.
So I signed up for the classical music category. There were 2 other people in my category, and I won $100. And
Nice.
after that, I was like, "Wow, I could do this again next year and win another $100." So I started studying opera, for the money.
Uh-huh.
But I discovered along the way that I really loved it. I love languages, I love classical music, I love, performing, and those things all kind of came together for me in opera. So I went to USC for my bachelor's, I went to Juilliard for my master's, and then I was working in the world of opera for a few years after that. Um, and it just wasn't fulfilling me in the ways that I thought that it would.
Okay.
It was a lot of time on the road. I was like, living out of a suitcase for a couple of years. And so and opera, the way that opera is paid, you do some shows, you get a big chunk of money, and then you have no income for like 3 months. And then
Mm,
you do some shows, you get a big chunk of money, and you have no income and no work for like another 2 months.
mhm.
Um, so it was in one of those off times that I thought, I am so bored. I want to find something else to do. Opera is not feeling like it fits me. What else can I do? And I had a friend who had been narrating audiobooks. And I thought, oh, that seems like something that I would like. I've always wanted to be a Disney princess that played with whales in the ocean, right?
Now
So
you now you
maybe,
just go out to the forest and sing to forest
right.
creatures?
So maybe I could do something that is like Disney princess related, like voiceover.
Nice.
So I took some classes. I built a home studio out of some couch cushions on top of a desk, and I jumped into audiobooks with both feet. And in the first year that I was in voiceover, I think I did 40 audiobooks in the first year,
Oh my God.
mostly for royalty share for like no pay. But I was basically just trying to do everything I could to learn as much as I possibly could about recording myself, about reading out loud, about editing. So I did a bunch of audiobooks. Um, the next year I did even more audiobooks. And then I thought, I should probably look into like getting into commercials and stuff. So I had no idea. I had no idea that people were using agents to get auditions. I had no idea that people were auditioning in person. All I knew was what I was seeing online.
Mhm.
And there were these online casting sites that you could join and get auditions. So I did those for another couple of years, and had some great successes, in from the online casting sources.
Mhm.
A
The
few
pay to
national
plays?
ad campaign, yeah, the pay to plays. I had a few national ad campaigns, uh, and then a friend of mine was like, I'm in this Facebook group for female voice actors and maybe you should join it. And I thought, oh, that's cool. So I joined this Facebook group for New York voice actor women. And I discovered all these people had agents and they were all going to in person auditions. And there was this whole other world of voiceover that I knew nothing about. There was also a union that I didn't even know that I was supposed to join. Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like I got into it in a really kind of backwards way. But once I started looking for an agent with all of this experience under my belt and a great home studio and a lot of
Mhm.
technical ability, I was very marketable. So I got an agent really quickly and I started working, in the kind of higher level commercial world pretty quickly after that. And
Nice.
that's where I am now.
Nice. Do you think you have like an evil nemesis who was in voiceover and hated it and went into opera?
Maybe, probably. I mean, in the multiverse, every possible, eventuality exists, right? So,
Her name is Carin Gilfry.
exactly.
Oh,
No,
wow.
but it's funny because a lot of people who started out in on-camera acting
Uh-huh.
or started out in theater, they have a very different perspective on the industry than from mine, very different from mine. Um, because I had a full business, a full voiceover career before I ever knew that I was supposed to have an agent or join
Mhm.
the union.
That's pretty amazing.
So when it came time to find an agent and or join the union, and they said to me, if you join the union, you're going to have to give up all of your non-union work.
Mhm.
To me, that was like, wait a minute, why? How could I possibly do that? This is how I make my living. I
Mhm.
I I can't fully join the union. So, and this is like a very controversial topic, but
Right.
I became FICOR, financial core, which means that I'm a dues paying non-member of SAG-AFTRA.
Mhm.
So I do both union and non-union work.
Mhm.
But for me, that was the only option. Also, when I was going to join the union, I just had a baby, and I didn't feel like giving up all of my work and
Mhm.
waiting tables or something and leaving my baby at home
Mhm.
to do, I don't know, voiceover work that I
Right.
didn't know if I was going to get or not, and I had no way. I didn't have a foot in the door yet. I had all my own clients.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah, so it makes sense. Why would you want
yeah,
to give that up for a maybe?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like to me. So, and I support the union, and I think the union does incredible things. I think the union is incredibly important for on-camera actors
Mhm.
when there are safety issues on set.
Mhm.
That's very, very important. If I were an on-camera actor, I think I would have a very different feeling about it. But for me, just as a voice actor, that's the choice that I made.
Mhm. And how long ago was it you were doing the audiobooks that you started? How long have you been
Oh,
doing this? That's what I'm
I've
trying
been
to ask.
doing this since 2013, 2012.
Okay, so like,
So
oh, so 8
like,
years.
yeah, 7, 8 years. But I had been a voice actor for almost 4 or 5 years before I had an agent and
Wow.
uh, paid my union initiation fee and dues and all that.
And you were doing all of that on the pay to plays, and of
Yeah,
course, repeat clients and
yeah,
off.
it was all on the pay to plays, and I think this is the big misconception about online casting sites, pay to play sites. People think, especially people who are in the union world who don't have a lot of experience on pay to play sites, they think that it is that all the rates are low, that many of the voice actors are not talented, and that if you want a real career, you shouldn't be on a pay to play site. And yes, there are some rates that are low, and there are some people who just have a microphone who are doing voiceover in their mom's basement and don't know anything about voiceover and who are auditioning for these things.
Mhm.
But there are also real legitimate jobs on there. There are big jobs that pay a very competitive rate. And there are jobs that can easily be converted to union as long as they meet the union minimum, and mostly in non-broadcast genres. So there's a whole world of work online that a lot of voice actors who only work through their agents don't realize is there. And they're
Mhm.
leaving lots of money on the table because they just don't realize that there's another way to get work and that they are really in charge of their own voiceover business and their own voiceover careers.
Their voiceover destiny.
Yes, exactly. You hold the reins to your destiny in a lot of ways. And then
That's
there's
how you do it.
also something that I don't do at all, which is direct marketing. People make tons of money literally going on to Google, looking up e-learning companies, and sending emails to the people who make the e-training programs for companies, and they have these repeat clients from direct marketing. They use LinkedIn. They find their own clients. That's a whole other source of income.
Yeah, I'm actually going to interview Tom Aglio coming up.
Yeah,
I'm going to
great. Yeah,
pick his
Tom is great at
brains.
that. He's good. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
great at that.
so great. So what other sorts of non-broadcasting stuff do you do? Or what sort of non-broadcast stuff?
Well, actually, the one genre that I didn't mention is I do a lot of medical stuff.
Mhm,
So I do a lot of pharma. I do ISI videos, important safety information for vaccines, for drugs. I narrate medical textbooks every once in a while. I do training videos for companies that make machines that go into hospitals, like X-ray machines,
mhm,
mammography machines.
mhm.
Um, I narrate the videos training the people to use those machines.
Wow.
Yeah, which it's these are things that you wouldn't think are a part of voiceover. People, when they think voiceover, they think in a world, or they
Right.
think or they think commercials, or they think animation, or they think video games.
Right.
Those are the things that automatically pop into your head. Maybe they might recognize that the person, when they're on hold with American Airlines, is maybe a voice actor, right?
Mhm.
But you don't think about all of these other things, like how do the radiologists learn how to use the brand new X-ray machine that's in their hospital?
From Corinne.
Yeah.
Karen.
Go
Damn it.
Karen. No, and those are important things. Like I've done a lot of COVID safety training
Uh-huh.
videos. Um, I recently did a vaccine safety information video
Mhm.
for the Moderna vaccine. Um, and then I'm also the national brand voice of CVS Pharmacy. So I've been doing tons of CVS commercials. CVS is going to be one of the major distributors of the COVID vaccine, and
Nice.
so they're doing a lot of videos. COVID testing videos and COVID vaccine rollout videos that are
Mhm.
internal, and I do those as well as their TV and radio. So it's all voiceover. It's all tied together, and I love it all.
Oh, cool. Luckily, they don't make you read those receipts, though. The secret.
I actually have a scarf that's a CVS receipt.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It's a white scarf, and printed on the white scarf is someone's actual CVS receipt.
Oh, that's amazing. Where did you
I
get
got it.
that?
I got it on Etsy.
That's that's very clever.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah. It's
So,
good.
what do you feel like you owe your success to in voiceover?
That's a really good question. Honestly, the online community
Hmm.
has been a huge factor in my success. Being so connected to other voice actors who have guided me to where I am now. But also, I think just the fact that I love this job. I
Hmm.
love everything about this job. I love running my own business. I love auditioning. I love being in sessions. I love working with clients. I love the musicality of language. I love
Hmm.
reading. I love weird medical words.
Hmm. Oh, weird medical
All
words are the best.
weird medical words. I love recording myself. I love learning about recording. I love technology. Um, I love the internet. Like, there really isn't any part of this job that I don't love. And when you love something, you can't help but just dive into it and give your whole heart and soul to it. And I think that that is a huge reason why I've been successful in this career.
Nice. Yeah, I'm in the midst of falling in love with voiceover myself. So, but I
Yeah.
think we can share.
Yeah.
So
It's a
that's
great job.
it
And that's
is.
the thing about the community too, is that, we all want each other to succeed. We all remember what it was like to start, how hard it was,
Uh,
how much there is to learn.
oh my God, it's
There's so much to
so
learn.
much. Yeah.
It's being a voice actor um, is not like you're getting into one industry. You are doing the same kinds of work in many different industries.
Hmm.
So, like, I might work in the film industry, and also I work with Moderna.
Hmm.
you know,
And
I
everything
might
has
work
a
in TV, yeah, and I might narrate the PSAT, right? It's like,
yeah, and just learning what the kind of range of voices that they want, or the range of tone, the range of presentation that all these things want is amazing. I took um I don't know, a little seminar with um, I'm blanking on his name, Cliff, uh, and he does the car stuff. He does God, Cliff Z. I can't remember
Yeah,
his last
Cliff
name.
Zell
Zellberg, Zellman, Zellman, Zellman.
Zellman Zellinger.
I don't know, but I
Oh, let me
took
look him up.
one of his auto chat things, and I was
Zellman.
yeah, I was trying to read it, and I was reading it in more conversationally. It's like, no, you got to read it more like this, and it's just this entirely different way. And it seems like, I guess, a lot of the car ads are, especially for the local dealers, are
Yeah.
exactly what you think of car ads as. And
Yes.
of course, I'm reading it trying to be conversational,
Right.
quote unquote conversational,
Right.
which is, I guess, more for like the national and maybe the regional, but not so much the local.
Exactly.
But I'm saying is there's so many different expectations for each of the different industries that use voiceover, and just getting to know even a fraction of that as a job in and of itself.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you get to know too, you'll find where your voice fits, you
Mhm.
know? Like my voice is I'm a 35-year-old mom of two kids.
Mhm.
So I fit very naturally into that kind of 30 something mom next door sound.
Right.
But I also, because I have classical training and I really like medical text, I can also do like a very informative medical kind of, not I don't want to say robotic or monotone, but it's very informational, where there isn't a lot of emotion to it. It's just very these are the facts and these are the drug side effects, and
Can
you
you give
know
us an example of that?
oh, I mean, probably, hold on, let me pull up.
Sure. And
Here
I would
is
be curious how you got into doing the medical stuff. Was that something that you just happened upon, or something you did on the
um
play to plays?
yeah, 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 I mean, a lot of it was doing a pay to play medical narration project and realizing that I really love it. I think I would have loved to be a doctor.
Hmm.
If I hadn't been an actor, I would have been a doctor. And in
Right.
fact, I when I applied for college, I was applying to biology programs and singing programs, and I couldn't quite decide
Sure.
which one I wanted to do. So, and I couldn't really double major in either because both
Right.
are total full time schedules with no overlapping classes, music
Right.
and biology.
No, no, not unless you're like Laurie Anderson or something.
Right.
Um,
Here, let me give you my here's my
I think I just dated myself.
here's my medical narration
Okay.
voice. Here we go. You are being offered the Moderna COVID 19 vaccine to prevent coronavirus disease 2019, COVID 19, caused by SARS CoV 2. This fact sheet contains information to help you understand the risks and benefits of the Moderna COVID 19 vaccine, which you may receive because there is currently a pandemic of COVID 19.
Oh, there is?
I just pulled
Oh,
up the FDA fact sheet
nice. Okay.
on.
Well, that's obviously great because you sound exactly like that lady. So that's
I
great.
mean, if I
Thank
were
you.
going to do that more conversational,
Yeah.
I could. It would just sound more like it would sound more like this. Wait. You're being offered the Moderna COVID 19 vaccine to prevent coronavirus disease 2019, COVID 19, caused by SARS CoV 2. This fact this fact sheet contains information to help you understand the risks and benefits of the Moderna COVID 19 vaccine, which you may receive because there is currently a pandemic of COVID 19.
Nice. Moderna.
Moderna.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Well, that was a really nice distinction there. I mean, and it's no, I'm serious. It's a little subtle, but it's clear at the same time. I don't know what you call
Yeah.
that. Subtle and clear.
Yeah. You just kind of, for me, conversational versus informational.
Uh-huh.
Informational, the tone of it is more da 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 da, right? Whereas conversational, there's more push and pull in the sentence,
Uh-huh.
the same way that we kind of speak naturally. You can see as I'm talking to you naturally,
Uh-huh.
I kind of stop and think about what I'm going to say, and then I speed up a little bit when I get an idea about what I'm going to say, and then I might slow down as I'm kind of thinking about the next thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that sounds conversational. So if I want to make my read conversational, for me, the it sounds more like da 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 da, right?
Moderna.
Right. But it's that difference in what's in tempo, I guess,
Yeah.
and the push and pull of the phrase. So it's not as what's the word I'm looking for? It's
Constant.
constant. It's not as
Yeah.
constant.
Okay. Great.
Informational is more constant. Conversational is more push and pull.
And just learning how to do these various reads is so much work. I mean, it's fun, but it's like, you know, amazing for me, like how much I don't know. I mean, I'm not amazed at how much I don't know. It's just amazing how much there is to know,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And even just like the dumb thing of like, okay, now I finished the job. How do I invoice?
Right.
You
All
know?
of these things.
How do you
And
write an invoice?
luckily the community is incredibly supportive. Like
Yeah.
I've literally never been part of a more supportive community, especially online,
Yeah.
and it's really amazing how helpful people are and how cheerful and willing to just give of their time and knowledge. So,
There are so many ways to have a voiceover career. There are people like Deb Sperling who mostly works through agents through the union,
well,
right?
as I found out, she entirely works through agents and unions, apparently.
She entirely works through agents and through the union. That is a totally possible way to have a career. It's less common now than it was like maybe 10 years ago. But that is a great way to have a career. You never have to know about invoicing, right?
Mhm,
There are people like me who do a combination of work through agents and work on my own. There are people who do only work on their own, like I was doing before I had any agents.
mhm,
Um, and, one, to me anyway, one way of doing this career is not better than another. Just because you only work through an agent and only work through the union does not mean that you are more professional than someone who has a full voiceover business who only gets work on their own and doesn't use any agents.
mhm,
Um, and those two people can be making exactly the same amount of money.
mhm,
You
mhm.
you don't you don't know. There are just so many ways to do it. So
To choose your own adventure.
choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
Or kind of do the path that you kind of naturally have fallen into.
Have your own adventure chosen for you.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, what suggestions would you have for new voice actors?
Gosh. Um, I have so many suggestions for
I
new
know it's
voice
hard to pick
actors. I
one,
know
right?
it's hard to pick one.
Or
Um,
even 5 or 10, however many you want. We've got no constraints here.
I mean, for new voice actors, I think having the audacity to believe in yourself
Mhm,
is a really important part of being any kind of freelancer.
mhm. And artist.
Um, an artist, yeah. But if you're going to make a living from your work, you have to be brave enough to put yourself out there.
Mhm,
And in the end, you really have to do what feels right to you, not what um what you think you're supposed to do.
mhm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also the thing that I always say to new voice actors is you really need to grow as you go. You don't have to buy a $10,000 booth when you don't even know if you like voiceover. You don't
Mhm,
have to buy a $3,000 microphone when you don't even know if you like voiceover. You don't have to buy a $2,000 demo when you don't
mhm,
even know if you like voiceover. There are so many free resources. There are so many ways to build your setup and learn cheaply, um, and then as you discover that you love it, and as you discover what genres you really like doing, and as you discover where you kind of fit into the industry, that's when you can start spending more money in those areas. So
mhm.
if you find out that, you have a really great voice, but someone who is experienced in audio engineering tells you, "Oh, your studio space sounds really bad." then you
Mhm.
spend money to fix it, right?
Right.
Or like, oh, you really can't be using a USB mic if you want anyone to take you seriously. Okay, then you
Right.
upgrade to something that's not a USB mic. If you find out that you are just booking tons of medical narration work, then great, you might spend money to make a medical narration demo and go after more medical narration work. If
Mhm.
you're only booking medical narration work and never any commercials, then you don't really need to spend $2,000 making a commercial demo if that's not your forte.
Mhm.
So, just my advice is do what you can with what you have and spend money when you have money to spend and you want to, level up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think when I did it as sort of as a man of a certain age, um, I am trying to do it, what I consider the right and responsible way for me, which
Uh-huh.
is, I got Frank Verderosa to help me set up my studio and been taking classes with Anna Garduno
Uh-huh.
and
Great.
now take a series with Roger Becker and been doing all of the possible seminars that I see through the Voice Actors of NYC page, and Long Island voiceover takeover and all these things and getting demos and paying the pay to plays as much as I can manage. And it's still a lot of work. Like you can't,
Yeah.
I mean, not like I'm trying to buy my way out of experience, but I'm just saying it's, you know, um, spending all the money and doing it the right way is still the difficult way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Can I ask you,
yeah,
um, are you working in voiceover now? Yet?
I've gotten two, three, I think,
Okay.
gigs so far. One was a Bill Nye impersonation, which was
Oh,
really fun.
cool.
One was for um supplement. And then I guess I
Yeah,
got the other Bill Nye, they rewrote it and had me do it again. So
that's
three.
great.
But I've only
Are
been
you
doing it about 3 or 4 months at this
Yeah,
point. So
yeah, amazing. And are
I
you putting
figure it's
yourself
gonna
out
take a
there?
while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're putting yourself out there in auditions and direct
Yeah, I'm
marketing
doing
and
the
things like that?
auditions on the pay to plays, and I'm just waiting for my demo to be done, and then I'm gonna hook up with Tom Aglio and learn how to do his magic on LinkedIn and
Magic direct
start.
marketing.
Yes,
Yeah,
so just putting it out there, and I've gotten some contact from various people on Instagram and
great.
LinkedIn, and I'm just starting to. But I think when I got into this, I was like, look, this is going to be a year minimum before I really get
Oh,
anywhere.
yeah, for sure. I
So,
mean, my first year in voiceover, I worked like probably 12 to 15 hours a day because, I was doing audiobooks. So I was in the booth
mm,
like all day long. The first year that I was in voiceover, I think working literally every day, not even taking weekends off, 12 to 15 hours a day, I think I made $8,000 total for the year.
mhm.
40 audiobooks, and I made
Wow.
$8,000, right? That's not any money to live on. You
No,
cannot
that's
live
almost
on
$800 a book.
$8,000, right? So, and then the second year I worked just as hard, um, constantly, and I think I made $16,000 for the year. The
Doubling it is
third
not bad.
year, yeah, the third year, I worked just as hard, and I think I made like maybe $32,000. So that was a year that I felt like, okay, I can actually declare this as like a real job.
So that means
Um,
if you keep going at that rate, you're probably making about $12 million a year now, right?
it's only been 7 years,
Oh, okay.
so not yet. But I have increased my income by a large percentage every year since I started. So and we just bought a house this year
Which is
just
so
on my
exciting.
it's
Yes.
so exciting. I mean, I never, from when I started with literally like $1,000 in my checking account total. Um, I got an apartment that was on the top floor with a big closet and an extra bedroom that I could rent out on Airbnb because I knew I wasn't going to be able to pay my rent.
And if I remember, you were doing like au pair stuff or babysitting
Yeah,
stuff, right?
babysitting. I
Yeah.
was babysitting to kind of make ends meet, and there were quite a few months when I did not have enough money, and I literally would take my like $60 that I got from babysitting that day and go to the grocery store and buy food for the week with my $60
Oh
and
my
then have
God.
no more money.
Right.
You know,
And living in
I
New
had
York.
parents, yeah, living in New York. I had parents that I could always fall back on. You know, I could move home if I needed to. It's not like I didn't have a safety net or anything, but you know, as somebody in their 20s, you know, trying to make a living, like voiceover is not a get rich quick job.
And it's amazing how many people think that it's easy money, right?
Yeah,
I've seen so many things about like, oh, just go on to, you know, blanker.com and,
right.
you can make $1,000 for an
For
hour of
just
work.
right. And
Yeah.
that's not really what it is.
Yeah.
That's not what it is.
No.
But once you, like I said before, you know, once I had built my business and I had like a six-figure business before I ever got an agent or joined the union. Um,
Which is amazing.
and yeah, and but that all came from really hard work, doing a good job, connecting with clients on my own, and then doing such a good job that they hired me back. And
Mhm.
it's not until you get those repeat clients, you get these clients that you know are going to come back to you every single time they need something because you've done such a good job for them in the past. It's not until you have that as your safety net that you feel like you are safe.
Mhm. Well, that makes
Because
sense.
in any freelance business, you know, it's like the income comes and goes.
I used to be a freelance web designer,
Oh
and
yeah?
so that's my background. And I actually work for a technology company now. So I'm lucky in that I have a straight job that's flexible,
Yeah,
that
that's
allows me
great.
to, I can take an hour and do something and come back to work and finish it later.
Yeah.
It's not, especially now during COVID, I'm working from home but I have, an income, I have benefits, I have things. And so it's not, but I remember as a freelancer, as a web guy, there were months that I would just cry because I couldn't make rent,
Yeah.
when I started. And
Yeah.
it was just, it's the same thing. I mean, it's a very difficult path to go by itself.
Yeah. But the wonderful thing about being a freelancer is the flexibility and the
Right.
control that you have of your own destiny, I guess, like we were saying before. Like
Destiny.
when you realize that you are the owner of your own business
Yeah.
and the amount of work you get is directly related to the amount of effort you put into getting new work. So the number of auditions, the number of direct marketing emails that you send out, the work that you do learning about your industry. When you
Yeah.
realize that it's directly related to that, it makes you want to work harder and you feel so empowered, I think.
Hmm.
It makes you feel so empowered just as a person,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel so
Achieving that.
lucky too that the people, my agents and my management team, my managers in particular, are the most empowering group of people I've ever met in my life. They are like 100% all about me going out and getting work for myself, and they're so encouraging of you know, all of the work that I do with them. um, they really manage my whole career, and I'm incredibly grateful to them. That's ACM Talent. I love them.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
They're amazing.
Do you have an editor too, or do you edit your own
No,
stuff?
no.
I remember, I guess Maria has one, right? And
Yeah,
she,
Maria Pendolino has an editor. I actually punch and roll everything I edit on the fly.
uh-huh.
So I don't, once I'm finished recording, I usually just send it off to the end client. They listen through, they tell me if they have any corrections. And if they do, I'd make the corrections. If not, then they just keep the product the way it is.
Nice.
Or they edit it on their end if it's something that they have an engineer for. So I
Nice.
don't send out to an editor.
Okay, great. Punch and roll.
Yeah. Punch and roll.
It sounds like a superhero thing, right? Punch and roll.
Yeah.
I am punch and roll man.
That should be some
So,
kind of voiceover superhero.
yeah, voiceover man or voiceover girl or whatever. Except that he would have a really like squeaky high voice. Hi, I'm voiceover man. Kind of like
That
here to
would be
save the
great.
day.
Yes.
So, shall we do a dry read?
Sure, yeah. Let me pull up what you
And you can
sent
do as
me.
many as you want in as many different reads as you want, or as few as you want.
Here we go.
This is one of the leftovers from my demo that I wrote with Anna Gordeno and
Oh, great.
Gordeno, whose last name I always mess up.
Gardunio.
I know it's terrible. I'm a horrible person. Can't pronounce her last name.
Names are weird.
Names
Ian
are weird.
Cleanfald. What's your
I
name?
know. Ian. Yes.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
No, that's okay. I'm fine with my name being made fun of. I grew up with my name being made fun of. It's fine.
Oh.
Darn.
All right.
All right.
All right. So this one, first read through, I'm gonna do so this sounds like a radio commercial to me.
Okay.
Seems like a radio commercial. Just because I've seen the actual Lyft ad that has kind of this feeling, and it's a lot of visuals and not a lot of voiceover. So this is kind of describing the Lyft ad that I have seen on TV in my mind.
Right.
So the first one I'm going to do kind of like just natural conversational friend next door,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll see where we can go from there. Here we go. Lyft is a lot more than just a car ride. Yeah, you heard me right. Shared rides, bikes, scooters, fancy cars, public transit, and more. And they're all available with your Lyft app. We're always happy to pick you up, but we can help you get there more ways than you thought. Download the Lyft app today and get going.
Nice. Can you make it more conversational?
I can make it more conversational.
No, sure, I'm just kidding, but however you want to read it.
Okay, let's see. Let's do this is now an informational read. Okay, so this is we're pretending this is the explainer video for a Lyft. It'll still be conversational, but more on the informational side.
Okay.
Here we go. Lyft is a lot more than just a car ride. Yeah, you heard me right. Shared rides, bikes, scooters, fancy cars, public transit, and more. And they're all available with your Lyft app. We're always happy to pick you up, but we can help you get there more ways than you thought. Download the Lyft app today and get going.
Nice.
A little less friendly.
Right. But, I feel like that's sort of the thing you would hear on an airplane about, the exits or something, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Okay, should we do one that's like doesn't sound like an actor?
Sure, whatever you want to do.
This is the direction that so many auditions have that are like, we want you to sound like a real person.
Can you not sound like an actor? Can you sound like a real person, please?
Because actors are not real people.
No.
No way. Okay, let's see if I can try to sound like a real person. Not a fake person.
Yeah.
And then we'll do a really fake one.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, here we go. Lyft is a lot more than just a car ride. Yeah, you heard me right. Shared rides, bikes, scooters, fancy cars, public transit, and more. And they're all available with your Lyft app. We're always happy to pick you up, but we can help you get there more ways than you thought. Download the Lyft app today and get going.
She sounds about 19.
Get going.
Get going. Oh my God. Download the Lyft app today and totally get going.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it's understated. Shared rides, bikes, scooters, fancy cars.
Are you going to do a totally fake one now?
I'll do a totally fake one.
Yes. As an actor.
Yes. Lyft is a lot more than just a car ride. Yeah, you heard me right. Shared rides, bikes, scooters, fancy cars, public transit, and more. And they're all available with your Lyft app. We're always happy to pick you up, but we can help you get there more ways than you thought. Download the Lyft app today and get going.
Oh my God, that sounds like an old Albertsons ad. It really does. I feel like, who is the guy from Albertsons? What was his name? Oh, Alan Hamill? Is that it? Oh my God. Okay.
Now 2-for-1 chicken breasts, only $4.99.
Exactly. Can you do one as a movie trailer?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Lyft is a lot more than just a car ride. Yeah, you heard me right. Shared rides, bikes, scooters, fancy cars, public transit, and more. And they're all available with your Lyft app. We're always happy to pick you up, but we can help you get there more ways than you thought. Download the Lyft app today and get going this Sunday at 7. No.
Oh my God. I do
Not
so
really a movie
love, this
trailer.
is what I love about voiceover. It's just, it is very playful and goofy. I mean, even when you're being
Yeah.
serious. What is the like, okay, what's the silliest thing you've ever had to do for voiceover? Or let me say, what's the silliest thing you've ever gotten to do for
Oh,
voiceover?
gosh. I don't know, because I usually do such like straight dumb things. I guess there was one time when I did a Mucinex commercial where they just had me cough like again and again, and they were like, "More phlegm, more phlegm."
Oh my God, that's
Like, I don't know how to make more phlegm. I don't have any
oh, that
phlegm.
sounds,
Oh, but one time,
yeah,
my husband does voiceover too, and
that's
one time
right.
he was doing a video game audition or a video game session, and I was engineering the session outside of the booth, turning levels up and down and stuff because
Mhm.
he was new at that time. And they were saying things to him like, "Okay, now you're gonna die by electrocution." And he'd be like, "Okay." "Ah," and then they were like, "Okay, now you're dying by electrocution, but you're really surprised by it." Okay, okay.
Well, no, I was totally expecting that.
Okay, now you're dying by fire. Flames. Flames are burning up your body.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, "Oh my God, I hope our neighbors aren't hearing this."
I hope you got to sleep that night. Oh
To
my
die
God,
all these
that's
different
funny.
ways.
And so
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there a favorite thing you've done for voiceover?
I love being the voice of CVS. I
Yeah?
love it. I love it, love it, love it. I
Why? Why
feel
so much?
I feel connected to the brand, first of
Uh-huh.
all. Who doesn't like CVS? You go into a CVS and you have everything you could ever want in your life is there at CVS. It's wonderful. Um
What does CVS girl sound like?
CVS girl, oh, it's like, CVS. I just sound like this. It's just me.
Okay.
That's another thing I love about CVS is that it's really just me. But the third thing is every single person who works on those on the teams that make the ads and the videos and everything are people who I adore. They are really, really, really smart. They are really good at their jobs. They are really nice and it feels like a collaboration. And because I work with many, CVS is like one brand, I am their one brand voice, but I work with many different ad agencies under the CVS umbrella.
Okay.
And I'm often the constant between, so like I'm the only one who has done the TV commercials and the in store training video for whatever, right?
Mhm.
So they rely on me just as much as I rely on them. And
Mhm.
it's such a collaborative atmosphere. It's the best thing. It's the best thing I've ever done. I absolutely love it. And someday they'll probably replace me with Morgan Freeman or something. I totally understand that. These jobs are temporary, I'm but I hope they keep me for a long time because I love them and I think they like me too. So
Okay, did you hear that,
it's been
CVS?
yeah, CVS.
Keep
It's been
Carin.
it's been I guess it's been almost 2 years now that
Yeah.
I've been their brand voice. And yeah, I think we just all really trust each other and we all work together. So I
Did you
appreciate
get
it.
that through your agent?
Yeah, through my manager.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I've got to learn how to do a Morgan Freeman approximation. Just because I've tried and I just don't have the voice for it, but I
You
think
know,
approximating it would be funny.
yeah, so I think Morgan Freeman is a pretty common spec that you see
Yeah.
on auditions. And it's not necessarily that they want a voice match for
Right.
Morgan Freeman, but they love the cadence of the delivery, right? They love the way that he narrates things. So
Yeah.
if you can study just the way that the cadence of what he's saying
Mhm.
without trying to make your voice sound like him, I think that that's really what they're going for. It's the way he says it. It's not his actual voice match voice that they're looking for. Sometimes I guess they're looking for a voice match, but
It's the way he says it that comes along that they're looking for. I don't know.
yeah, exactly. But even when you just did that,
Yeah.
I was captivated.
She was captivated.
Yeah, right. But it's I don't know, when someone pauses
Oh,
and
yeah.
very deliberately
Quiet
gets
on
to the next thing that they're gonna say, it makes you go like, wait, what? Oh,
right.
oh,
Well, as a singer too, as a musician, I mean, rests are very powerful, right?
very powerful.
Yeah.
Very powerful.
So
Yeah, it's a cool job.
it is a cool job. Did you want to
It's
do
fun
another
to be at the
funny read of
beginning
Lyft
too.
or
Mm.
what's that?
I said it's fun to be at the beginning too. There's so much to learn and know.
It is fun, but it's also kind of like, oh my God, can I please just get booked again? One, just another one. Because when I
You
got booked the first
will.
time, I was
You
like, yes,
will.
I got booked. And then I was like,
Yeah.
yes, I got booked again. And now I'm like, oh my God, I could really use another shot of vitamin B,
Yeah, I feel ya.
for booking, but
Well, I mean, if you're not opposed to audiobooks, which are a lot of work, if you're
now
not
I'm kind of
opposed to
opposed to
it,
them.
well, the good thing about audiobooks is that you're constantly working.
Yeah.
And you, even though you're not getting paid a lot, right? The amount of experience of you just behind the mic recording yourself and
Uh-huh.
figuring out how to record yourself is worth more than you could pay for any class.
All right. Maybe I'll do one. I'll
Yeah,
find
if you think about it, as like, this is the way that I am going to get my feet wet in this industry in kind of a low stakes situation, especially if you're doing royalty share. Often royalty share books are people who are self-published,
hmm
and you're a narrator with a home studio. So you're both kind of at the same level of like, this is
Okay.
my book and this is me recording your book for you. We're both entry level people, right? If you see it as that, and if you see it as a way for you to just get time behind the mic,
hmm
by the time you're finished with that one audiobook, you will be so prepared for the next commercial session that you do. You won't be feeling as like, oh my God, like, where's this? Okay, I'll record and do this and do that and blah. How am I going to make it more conversational? Because you will have already spent 40 hours
hmm
behind the mic in the last 2 weeks, right?
Right. 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 All
And
right.
there's just no other
Well, I
way to
did
do
get
it, I think.
rejected for an ACX job recently. That was nice.
We all
No,
have. It's
and it was a shame because it was a sci-fi book that I kind of like this,
oh,
but they're gonna fail now. So
ACX.
no, the book.
Oh, the book.
Yeah,
You're
the
right.
book
They
is gonna
probably will.
fail miserably.
But in another in another universe, you booked that job,
Yeah,
or your
and they did
nemesis
they
did.
did amazing on Earth too. Yes. Okay, so What did you do the most over the top ridiculous read of that Lyft commercial now?
Okay, how about we do, because I do toy commercials sometimes.
Okay,
Why
yeah,
don't we
sure.
do Lyft like as if it's a toy commercial? I'm gonna turn down my
Perfect.
gain
And I
so that
and I was saying to Deborah earlier, I really need to talk to them about sponsorship because
sponsorship
I
Lyft.
happened to pick their ad as that, but I'm like, you know what? Hey Lyft, are you
Ah.
listening?
So the thing that you have to know about toys
Yes.
is that there is a very specific girl toy sound and there's a very specific boy toy sound,
Okay.
right? So the girl toy sound is like Disney princess and we are so had and the boy toy sound is like trucks, monster trucks,
Oh my
Nerf guns, right?
yes.
Like
You're only
super
8 years old, but you need testosterone.
super blasting Nerf guns, right?
Yes. Get some tea.
Right. Get
Okay.
some tea. Exactly. So I'm gonna do Lyft as a girl toy commercial.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, here we go. I'll take this is too masculine.
Oh my God. Speaking of toy commercials, so I was in Lisa Biggs's one of her seminars, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of I forget what you were just saying a minute ago about just phlegm. You were talking about phlegm.
Phlegm, right.
And she was saying how for doing toys, you need to know how to burp on cue.
Oh yeah.
And that she apparently doesn't burp on cue because she can't do it, but she has an entire folder full of
Library,
different
right?
burps.
Yes. I love Lisa Biggs. She's
She's
amazing.
amazing.
She's
I need to get her
amazing.
on here, but I haven't been able to get her to email me back yet. She's probably super busy.
She's so busy.
Yeah,
She's like one of the busiest people in show business. That
nice.
Lisa Biggs. She's also super nice and very
She
knowledgeable.
is so
So
nice. Oh
yeah,
my God.
she's so
Yes.
nice.
All right, here we
All right,
go.
here we go. This is Lyft as a toy commercial.
Lyft is more than just a car ride. Yeah, you heard me right. Shared rides, bikes, scooters, fancy cars, public transit, and more. And they're all available with your Lyft app. We're always happy to pick you up, but we can help you get there more ways than you thought. Download the Lyft app today and get going.
Oh my God, I want to buy that toy. I want to buy that Lyft toy. Oh my God. And this is an example, right, of like just how different the different genres are, right?
Yeah,
Like the fact that I wouldn't know that there's a girl voice and a boy voice for toys, but now that you say it, of course there is, right? You know,
totally.
although I guess now they're doing more like gender neutral stuff too, right?
Right,
What does
for
that even
sure.
sound like?
I mean, it's all like very high energy, fun kid
Yeah.
stuff. And like if you watch, like I have my kids are 1 and 3. They watch
Uh-huh.
a lot of Blippi. I
I
don't know if
don't
you
know
know
what
who
that is.
Blippi is.
We
Blippi
don't
is
have
this
kids yet. We
guy.
just have cats.
Blippi is a guy who is in his 30s. He's kind of like Pee Wee Herman, but less creepy.
Okay.
But he's very childlike,
Well,
and he's
once
like
we know about Pee Wee Herman, that's a low bar.
right, right. But he's kind of like the YouTube Pee Wee Herman, but not creepy Pee Wee
Okay.
Herman.
Right.
He wears orange and blue and suspenders, and he's like, "We're gonna go to the aquarium today. Oh, look, oh my gosh, is that a stingray? I'm gonna touch it, but very gently with 2 fingers."
Nice.
Like that's Blippi. So that's kind of I think that's kind of the like gender neutral toy ad. Although there are toy ads that are specifically marketed to parents
Uh-huh.
too. So like that would be like, your little one loves to play, and so do you, and you would like to limit their screen time. So here is the Tony box, where you can listen to your kid can listen to stories, and it's like, I'm your mom friend who's had a little too much caffeine today, and we are such good friends,
I
right?
thought you were going to
Like
say a little bit too much to drink.
had a little too much to drink and a shot of caffeine.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, your kids love TV, but you need to watch it because you got no idea what the
Right.
hell they're going to put on.
I'm like, I'm your mom friend who's the head of the PTA, and I always have dinner prepped on Sundays for every day of the week. So I
I,
never have to cook, right?
exactly. Hi, I'm a Stepford mom, and
Exactly. But I'm your friend
but I'm your friend, aren't I?
who never makes you feel bad about not having dinner, ready for the whole week on Sunday. You have a lot of laundry. So do I, but not anymore because now I hire my laundry out. No,
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh, the fun you have with voiceovers, yes. So,
So true.
anything else for newbies?
Believe in yourself. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You got this.
Yeah.
Learn. Have fun. Good job.
All right. Now it's self-promotion time. Is there anything you want to promote?
Oh, man. Oh, I know. Every fall, I do a conference with my BFF colleague, Jamie Muffett, who he hosts the VO School podcast, which is an amazing podcast. If you don't know about it,
I don't.
the VO School podcast is incredibly awesome. Jamie has a wonderful, soothing British voice. We love Jamie. If you start at episode 1 and go all the way through, you will hear a ton of amazing information about getting started in voiceover. But anyway, Jamie and I, we put on a yearly conference called the Vocation Conference.
Hmm.
And the Vocation Conference is dedicated 100% to just the business side of voiceover. So, not performance, everything else, tech and agents and casting directors and recording yourself from home and online casting sites and invoices and setting up a business and lawyers and contracts and negotiation and all of that stuff. That's all part of the conference. We've done it 2 years in a row now. This year we did it on Zoom. The first year we did it in person at Symphony Space in New York City. And yeah, you can learn more about the Vocation Conference at www.vocationconference.com. It's awesome. I love it. I think people learn a ton.
That sounds great. I'm sorry I
Yeah,
missed
it's
it. When
great.
was it?
It was September September 11th through the 13th this
Okay.
year.
So it was right around a little bit after I started getting started, but I didn't know anything about anybody yet. I
Yeah.
did a couple of classes, and then I did some classes with Anna Garduno, and then I, did a little of this and a little of that. And nowadays I feel like I'm swimming in it all the time, but
Yeah.
which is great. I
Yeah.
love the water. It's very, very, the water's fine.
Warm and friendly.
Yes. It's very conversational.
No piranhas.
No piranhas. Exactly. All
Just the
right.
occasional orca that I ride away on.
And woodland creatures.
And woodland creatures that I can sing to.
Yes. Have you ever gotten to be a Disney princess or a princess?
I've done Disney princess toy commercials.
Okay. Well,
That's as
pretty nice.
close as I have gotten so far. So far. But we'll see. I wouldn't even mind being a Disney villain or a Disney animal or
Oh,
a
a villain would
Disney
be so much
background
fun.
actor.
Yes, but a villain would be
All
the
of those
best.
things.
Oh my
A
God.
villain would be great.
Yes.
Disney Channel, Disney Parks, Disney movies. I don't care. Apps.
Okay, Disney, since we know you're listening to my podcast, Cass, was it Ann Disney? Is that who it is? Is
And Disney?
is
No.
that her name? I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway,
One of those
one of
Iger
those
type people.
Disneys. Yes. Michael Eisner. Yeah. listen
Eisner.
up. All right. Well, thank you so much, Carin. I really appreciate your
Thanks for
time.
having
Any
me.
final words, as they say?
Just thanks so much. I had a great time.
Thank
And
you.
good luck to you.
Thank you very much. It's been amazing, the support and encouragement and just the willingness to help out that literally everybody in the community, is well, I mean, most people, especially in the Voice Actors of NYC and a lot of the more professional communities. I know there are some kind of less enthusiastic communities online, but I stay away from those. So if you're listening to this and you find that you're in a nasty community, don't go there anymore. Go to the nice communities.
Go to the nice community.
Go to the nice communities.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Carin.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Voiceover. How did you do it? At www.voiceoverpodcast.com with me, Ian Kleinfeld. You can watch the video to all our podcasts at voiceoverpodcast.com/YouTube. The background track is 1959 by my alter ego Max Rocket, and you can find that and other songs at www.maxrocketmusic.com. Remember to like, subscribe, write a review, and all that good stuff on whatever podcast streaming service you're listening to, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.